Today is a beautiful day because at the age of 25 I wrote in my notebook a couple goals, and one of the goals was to move to Croatia before I was 30, and I'm able to make that goal become a reality. But the other one was a more special goal, and today is finally the day that I'm able to check that goal off. And that goal was to retire my mother. And right now I'm on the highway in Zagreb, highway to Zagreb, to go pick her up. And yeah, I'm just blown away. I'm super excited that I'm able to give my mum this opportunity to have retired before retiree age, you know. And not only that, I mean, being, a separated woman, she would probably not be able to just live off a pension in the UK anyway. So this way I am giving her so much more freedom that she's able to, travel if she wants to. She's able to spend some time in England. She hasn't got the worries of any kind of expenses. So she's totally free. Now, I'll tell you why this is so special to me. It's so special to me because my mum has been my rock throughout my whole life. And as you know, if you don't know already, women from, ex-Yugoslavia and stuff like that, they do everything for you, especially if you're a boy, whether it's, you're cooking, you're cleaning, everything, And she's always just been such a hard worker and a grafter. When she came to the UK from Yugoslavia, she didn't know a word of English. It was very difficult for her. It was during the time of the war, and she was obviously, upset and didn't know about her family and, how they were going to be during the war and all that kind of stuff. So she was totally segregated from that. My dad's family wasn't necessarily too warming towards her. Didn't really put a lot of effort to try and speak to her, so it was quite difficult for her, and she didn't have any friends. It was an apartment, and my dad had to go out pretty much grafting day in, day out, working all hours of the day, taxi driving in it to be able to sort of pay the bills of the house and everything. And yeah, she felt, very alone, and she was taking care of me, and then my brother came later. And then after that, we got more into a better situation. We got a house, and she had to go to work. So then she was going to work, but then as soon as she came back from work, she was doing all the chores of the house, the washing, the cleaning, everything, taking care of us, letting us have friends round, sleepovers, just being like literally the best mum you could ever ask for. And she's always been there to be supportive and everything like that, and always sacrificed everything for me and my brother. But yeah, I mean, it got even harder when my dad sort of separated from her and she was on her own. It was me, my brother, and her living in one house. And then, I fled the nest, and, now she was with my brother, but she's only getting older, and as you get older and stuff like that, it's tougher and tougher because he'll have his own life, and she'll be on her own most of the time. So we're now giving her this opportunity where she's literally given everything for me, and I just want to be able to repay that because she's sacrificed so much of her life for me and my brother. And she's always wanted to do certain things like, travel the world, not necessarily the whole world, but to just travel new places, not be under constant stress. And this is just going to be that time for her where, she's living in a village. She'll get to have coffee with the neighbours. It'll be a bit more slower life. Then she'll be around her grandchildren. And then she has the freedom. It's quite great for her because she gets to see her family in Serbia, so that'll be quite nearby. She'll be able to go to the UK when she wants to, and then we'll just have great life here in Croatia where it's peaceful, it's nice, and yeah, it's gonna benefit her massively and her mental health. So I believe this is just so beneficial for her. Obviously, it kind of benefits us as well because we're going to have, someone to take care of the grandchildren, which is going to be a massive help because it's been very, very difficult for me and Christiana to be looking after the kids. because we're kind of in a secluded village. We're all alone. Obviously, we've got the neighbours and stuff, but we don't want to burden anyone with the kids, kind of thing. So we're having to do everything. Then the schools and the nursery and stuff, it's all in sort of Zadar. So we're talking sort of like half an hour travels, there, and then you've got back as well. So you're at least doing like, I don't know, 1 or 2 hours of travelling every day, and you're feeling knackered. Those who have got kids, you totally get me. It's hard being a parent, and it's even harder than when both of you have to work. You're both sort of grafting on certain things, and life isn't so easy. So this is going to take a big burden from us as well, that we're able to then focus on our own things as well more, and build here in Croatia better. So it's really beneficial for everyone, and it's crazy how manifestation works. These 2 things I wrote in my diary, along with some other things, they've come true. And I kept this kind of quiet because I felt that everything that, even though I wanted to share with everyone, there's also the risk of a lot of negative energy coming from when you share one of your goals or one of your dreams. And sometimes it's better just to keep it to yourself until it sort of materializes, because I feel like, if too many people put bad energy onto it, it can kind of scupper your plans. And I'm always excited to kind of talk about what I'm doing. I'm always excited about, sharing my plans and stuff. But sometimes I forget that, there's jealous people out there. There's people that are, hateful and stuff, and, wish you bad on your journey, which, I never look at. If anyone's succeeding in life, if anyone's doing anything good in their life, I truly feel so happy for them. There's not an ounce of jealousy in me. I know what it's like to work hard for things, and I'm ever so happy for anyone that opens up a business or has some kind of life-changing thing. They move country, they buy a new house. I'm super happy for everyone that does that. But unfortunately, sometimes you've got those people that have negativity involved. But yeah, today's the day. I'm literally on the main road now, on the motorway. About 2 hours, 10 minutes to go, 264 kilometers, and I'll be arriving around 3 o'clock at the airport, and then we've got a nice 3-hour drive back. So yeah, it's going to be quite a bit of a drive, but the excitement is taking hold of me. I'm so happy and so excited for this, and so are my children as well. They can't wait to see Baba, which means grandma. They've been away from her for so long, and they only see her on a FaceTime, and now they get to see her every day. It's going to be unreal. They only see her for a week or so in England, or whenever she comes here, and whenever she's got holiday. But now it's come a reality. But also, this is something to share. I left my family. I didn't really think too much into it, and obviously you're going to miss them, right? But you've got to live for yourself and do what you want to do. But I always had that goal inside me that one day I was going to be able to retire my mum. And obviously it probably hasn't turned out the same way as I expected it to. It really hasn't. But I'm happy that I'm being able to give her this chance. This is something that's really important to my wife as well, because she values family so much, and she wants them as near as possible, because they only have a limited time on this earth, and we want to be able to spend as much time as possible with them. And looking at the way society is now, it kind of sort of segregates families more and more, and sort of turns you more into an individual person. And I believe that within proximity comes power. You have your family around you, and that's the most powerful thing you can have, and that's that gives you the strength to be able to build. Whereas when you turn all individual, when you turn all into like lone wolves, then it's very difficult for you to build. But it's almost like they're pushing people to kind of think that way, that you have to do everything on your own, which just isn't the case. The more people you have to support you, the more powerful you are, and the better you can work as a team to create a better life for everyone. So this is also what my wife believes, and her goal as well is at one point to be able to, you know, move her parents over as well. They're running a business over in Latvia, and it's not so easy to be able to make that leap, but they will in a few years' time be able to live here for, you know, a good part of the year, whether it's half a year or something, or already built the apartment for them above our Konaba, which is like basically above a garage, but it's like a, I don't know, bar garage area with, you know, karaoke and everything. But yeah, we've built like an apartment above there, and you know, they stay there whenever they come down. So we're just making all the spaces that we can in the village house. Obviously, some people think, oh, isn't it difficult to live with your parents? And yeah, probably there is certain things that are difficult, but definitely the good outweighs the bad in this case. And you know, both of us love both of our parents. I love Christiana's parents loads. She loves my, you know, parents a lot as well. So it just works really well. We're so lucky for that, and you know, can't wait to, you know, share life with them, grandchildren and everything. And it just shows that anything's possible. You know, these our mums and dads, they live in countries like UK and Latvia, and we're in a completely different country, and we're all working together to make this happen. So it's crazy. A little bit about, you know, my mum's emotions during this whole situation. She's had to, you know, sell a house, sell a car, deal with all the paperwork and everything like that, and it's been incredibly difficult for her. She doesn't really deal too well with stress. She doesn't deal too well with sorting things out. You know, back when it was a family unit as such, my dad was the kind of person in the house that would get everything sorted instantly. And, you know, it's hard for my mum to sort of take on that role to sort of sort things out herself. Still finds it very difficult. So she kind of like leaves things last minute, and then it ends up sort of building up and being too overwhelming. Whereas, you know, if you just get it out of the way, you'll feel so much better, and you'll realise that it wasn't such a big deal in the first place. So I've kind of turned like that now, especially living here in Croatia. I just like to get things sorted straight away. I don't like to leave things looming because it stresses me out. I think I'm similar to her in that way with stress and mental health and stuff. So yeah, it's just better to get it out of the way. But yeah, it's been emotional for her right now. She's seen so many friends and stuff over these last few days. They've obviously been coming around the house. They've been giving her gifts, going out for meals and stuff. And you know, she's lived in the UK now for 30 odd years, you know, and now she's returning back to her homeland of Croatia, which is crazy because I imagine she never imagined this would happen. Returning back here after, you know, living half of her life here as well, you know. So she's built up her life in UK, she's got the friends, she's got everything around her, and now she kind of has to leave that, which is emotional for her, but it's all for the greater good, and it doesn't mean that she's never going to see these people again. If anything, when you kind of live in a country, you kind of feel like you're going to miss, you know, friends, family and all this kind of thing. But realistically, if you kind of look at it, maybe you don't see these people so much, but as soon as you kind of leave, you think that you kind of got it rooted in your head that you see these people every day, when in actual fact you might see them once a month, or, you know, once every couple months or something. You got to remember, well, especially, you know, in my situation, Croatia's not so far away. You know, during the summer the flights are very good. We can get flights from Zagreb Airport to England, Manchester for 20 euros each way. So, you know, it's very cheap. I mean, during winter it's, you know, more difficult because it's out of tourist season, so they haven't got the flights going. But in this case, it's amazing, you know. And yeah, it's not so easy to get to Latvia, but flights during summer aren't too bad. And, you know, because it's in Europe, we can just drive down. But living in Europe is great as well, because if you wanted to go to Italy from here, it's only 5 hours drive away. And yeah, you can just explore different countries if you want to, whether it's Austria or Germany or whatever, you know. The world's your oyster. So Europe gives a lot of diversity in such a small sort of distance, so it's fantastic. So anyway, yeah, I am now going to then drive to Zagreb, and we will catch up with you when I see my mum. We're going to pick up Baba. Eat them all. Let's go. Franja Tuđman Airport. Let's go. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Baba! Idemo, Baba!
Pucha! This is so unbelievable.